If you are wanting to go back into college while having kids, today I'm gonna talk about everything that I did to do that and everything that I had to go through in order to make it happen. And it was a lot. So today I was just at home having a day off and I was like, finally got my degree. I can start doing all the things I always wanted to do. Started looking for jobs, even though I'm working for the military full time. But I just thought in my head, like, man, when I was first starting off, this shit was ass. Like there was times in which I am studying from midnight and then having to go in between work and class, and how I made that way easier for myself and everything that I did. So I was like, this would be a really good video idea, so let's talk about it. The first thing you got to understand when you're doing this is that it can be draining on you, especially if you make one big mistake. I think if you're a parent and want to go back to school, if you can, do it online. Online schooling is the way to go. I did in person and it wasn't bad, but the problem is a lot of the classes that I had going forward would have stretched me way more than I was already doing. So for example, one of the classes I had, I went in between my lunch break, which I had an hour and a half lunch, and I would drive to school. Sometimes I'd still be in uniform because I'm in the military, and I'd have to go in my class for like 30 minutes or 40 minutes and just be in uniform, then drive right back and go to work, and then come home and study. And with all those in-person classes, you had a lot of assignments. I would come home, study, spend time with the kids, make food, make dinner. Then around like 9 o'clock till 11 o'clock, I'm studying, doing homework, all that stuff. And it was horrible. And the biggest problem for me started becoming after that, where the classes started getting more at like 1 o'clock, more, during the times in which I had break and lunch, and I couldn't really, not during break and lunch, after break and lunch, I couldn't really make those classes. But the problem is when I asked my advisor the first time, they were like, no, it's possible. These are the classes you have to take, and this can be later on in your career. And now when I'm looking at it, they came in a lot sooner. So I was kind of mad at my advisor for that. I'm like, you could have just kept this straight with me and not tried to like convince me that this is possible when it's not. So that's the first mistake, was not having a competent advisor that actually knew my plan and my situation, because they were a young kid and they never had kids. They haven't been in the same situation I have been. So the next advisor I had was an older man, kind of understood exactly what I was going through and gave me the best advice. And his best advice to me was, you can't do it in our school. Unfortunately, that's what it is. I like the university I went to, but it just wasn't possible. So my next outlet was finding a online school, and I settled for Bellevue University. Bellevue University, if you're in the military, is probably one of the best decisions you can make, because it's structured. You know exactly when your discussions are due, when your assignments are due, and it's for all your classes. So every single class you have, you know exactly it's going to be the same exact system going forward. And that was significant for me because I could always plan out with it. And since it was a military heavy school, it was nice for me because they kind of understand military duty and responsibilities. So sometimes that I would be gone for 2 weeks and we would work that out and make it happen. And that was extremely beneficial. Online classes, they weren't hard. The assignments, the way that I spread them out was Monday through Wednesday. I really focused on studying, getting modules, the chapters done, and really cramming as much information as possible. And then by Wednesday, having already done discussion posts and starting on the assignments, which were due on Sunday, I was pretty much way ahead of the game and I didn't have to worry about that. And that was huge for me. So choosing an online school definitely not only saved me time and money. When it comes to the actual study portion, you can't escape having kids. And if you are, you're kind of like just neglecting them. It's good to have them in experience. I learned how to study with having them around. I learned how to do assignments having around. Put my computer up, I showed them, this is what I'm doing. And then eventually they kind of understood, like, hey, dad's currently studying, give him a little space, stuff like that, right? And that's kind of how I worked it. So I didn't like separate them from going to school and still hanging out with them. It was kind of a collaborative thing. They see dad is studying, and I kind of like that perspective a lot better. Oh, it's okay, Gabrielle. I'm with my daughter. My wife is on a walk with her other kids, and one of my other kids is sleeping. I have 4 kids, by the way, and the oldest one is 4.5, about to be 5. It's crazy. But anyway, yeah, it really does. It really can take a drain on you, and I talk to people that are thinking of going to school all the time and they want to go in person, which I get because that's what they're used to. But doing it in person, one, you might not be able to continue your job that you're doing, which is my biggest worry. I had to take care of my family financially. And then 2, the time aspect of it would have been way too difficult to do. So for me, the middle ground was finding an online school that was beneficial. If you're in the military, there's plenty of them. If not, understand you might have to take student loans and stuff like that, but it'll be easier to get it done once you have a course that does not take away from your work and gives you plenty of time to do your studies and assignments. Because if it wasn't structured that way for every single class, it would be a question of like, okay, what's my next semester gonna look like? Is this gonna affect my job? Having it laid out and this is the system the entire school follows was huge for me. But anyway, that's pretty much what I want to say in this video. Like, it's possible. You just gotta be really smart as a parent. And this is kind of my advice. If you have any questions specifically on like what it was like for studying or anything else, put in the comment section below and I'd love to make a video or talk about a short form video or just answer you in the comment section below. There might be other parents too. So if you guys enjoyed this thing, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna share more of my life and things that I've done. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is what's it like being in the military and a full-time dad, and answer that. Or what if it's a good decision to join the military at a later age, whether that's your late 20s, early 30s, late 30s, stuff like that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.